Hey everyone, welcome to Learn to Program, a YouTube channel for high school computer programming. In this video, we will learn to install Python software and write simple programs in Python. So there are several IDEs available for installing Python on your computers. I will show you two of them. The one is a Python IDEs, which is Integrated Development Learning Environment, which is referred in most of the state school textbooks. The other one is the IDE that I love to use, which is called Thonny, Thonny. Both are free, and you can download any of these two or any other IDE that you love to use. So let's straight away go to download the first IDE that we were talking about it, Python IDEs. So how do we download this? So go to any of the browsers that you have. So I'm going to use Google Chrome. So go there and just type Python IDEs download. So all you need to do is only this. So click on this, and that will take you to the download screen. And I'm using the MacBook, so my system detected a Mac operating system, so it is going to download Python 3.96. I'm just going to click OK here, and that will download Python software in my computer. In the meantime, while it is downloading, I want to tell you there are many other IDEs available, something like Visual also used for other programming languages. And Thonny, the reason why I prefer Thonny is very simple, that you have two divided screens where you can write the program in one of the screens, one of the boxes, and then you can see the answers in the other box. And if there are bugs in your program, you can see that on another window. So that is really helpful. So my download is taking time. So while it is getting downloaded, so I'm going to show you the Thonny that I'm talking about. Look at this. So this is the Thonny program that I was talking about it. So that means very simple. You can start a new program here. So you can write all your codes here, Python code here, and you will see the answer here. And if there are any bugs in your program, and that will appear here. Okay, since it is taking time to download the Python IDEs in my computer, I'm going to show you with the Thonny, which I have already installed in my computer. Please note, if you are using Windows operating system, the installation process will be slightly different. So I think that's pretty easy to handle. You can go to Start. Once you've installed it, go to Start and click Program and search for the Python IDEs. So it's done the download. So let's go to install it. So I'm just clicking on the downloaded file. That takes me to install Python. Click on continue. Click on that. So it might ask you to agree the terms and conditions, and do that. Install the software. It is asking me for the password. I'm going to say there is no password. Install the software. Okay, now the Python IDEs, which is referred in most of the state schools textbook, is getting installed. Let's finish this and then go back to Thonny back again. All right, a few more seconds to go. Right, it is taking longer than I thought. It says less than a minute, so give it a thought. Okay, it's done. Now the installation is completed, and if you see this in MacBook, so that particular application window is already opened. That means I have the IDEs here. All I need to do is just double click on this. So all I do is I just double click on this, and my IDE should open. Let me try once again. Yeah, that comes up. So that's the Python IDEs shell 3.96. So here, in a similar way that I showed you the Thonny IDE, this also works. Since this is referred in the state schools textbooks, I'm just showing you this. In all the programs that I write in the future will be only on Thonny. So I'm going to just click say Find New File, and that gets me to a new window. Let me start writing my first Python program. So I'm going to write a simple Python statement to print welcome to Python programming. So all I do is print within the double quotations, you write the message that you want to print. Welcome to Python programming. That's it. And there is no semicolon required. If you have learned Java or Pascal or any of the similar languages, you might have noticed a semicolon at the end of each line, even in C and C++. There is no requirement for semicolon in Python, so you don't have to do that. That's it. We have done the phase program, which is saying, welcome to Python programming. I'm going to click run the model. So when you run the program, it says source must be saved. Okay, let me go and save the source. It's there in my desktop. I think I have a folder for Python. Let me store it there. I would say example 1. Please use appropriate file names. So I'm just saying example 1 here because it is not a big one. It says there is an error in the program. Okay, just because the error is the P I typed in capital letter. So Python is a case-sensitive language. Capital P is not equal to lowercase p. So that's wrong. So I'm going to save it again. Sorry, I'm going to... Okay, I clicked the wrong IDE. So let me click it here. Click on this file, save here, and run the model. So when I run the model, let's see, it says welcome to Python programming. That's it. You have done your phase program in Python just to print a message. So what if you want to print another message? All you need to do is copy the statement and put it back here. So let's say, let's do something else. This is my first program. So erase the content. This is my first program. That's it. So save it and run the model. Now that says 2 statements, welcome to Python programming, and this is my phase program. You've done this. Okay, so this is how to use IDLE that comes with Python. I don't prefer to use for some reason because that looks very blank to me. I need to go to another screen to see the output. So I would prefer to use the one that I showed you earlier. I'm going back here. This is Thani screen. Thani is something that I have downloaded already. It's free, which I said you can download. Just Google Thani, download. It gets you the file. So I'm going to do the same program here. Print. Welcome to Python programming. So that's the message we typed. I'm typing the same statement here, no semicolon. But if you put the semicolon also, there is no problem with that. You can do that. I'm going to print my next message. This is my phase program. That's it. Close. So double quotation is required. Close it. That's done. To run the program, all you need to do is click this button. So click, it asks you to save again. So we will say this is example 2 or example 2, 2. Maybe I have something earlier. Okay, once you've done, all you need to do is click the run button. You see this welcome to Python programming at the bottom of the screen. In the shell output screen, you see the output here. That's great. We have done our phase program using 2 different IDEs. One is Python IDLE and another one is the Thani. In all the future videos, I would use only Thani to explain various constructs and concepts in Python programming. Okay, at this point, you might want to pause the video and try this program on your computer. Try downloading the software and try the phase program. Once you're done, continue to watch this video. Okay, I'm going to show you now, next is I'm going to show you how to get input statement here. So input means that we need the data to be given to the computer to process something. Okay, don't worry about it if you don't understand what is the meaning of input. A simple term. Let me explain you with a simple example. For example, if you're trying to add 2 numbers, we need to know those 2 numbers, what they are. For example, I want to add 5 and 3. So that means those two numbers, 5 and 3, are input. So I'm going to show you how to use input statement before I close this video, and then do some arithmetic operations. So I'm going to show you how to input the data and then do some arithmetic operations. The process is pretty simple. So I'm going to declare a variable. I name it as fn to indicate first number. I'm going to say input, say enter the first number. That's it. And then I'm going to do the same thing, Sn. So that is input, enter the second number. We want to get two numbers. Now these two statements will get two different numbers from input from the user. That means when you run the program, the computer will ask you, give me the first number. That is, enter the first number. When you enter, it will ask you enter the second number. Okay, now those two numbers are stored in fn and sn, two different variables. Now the question is, what is a variable? So variable is a place in the memory that stores dynamic data. So that means that can change during the execution of the program. But I'll talk more about this a little later. So let's say sum equals, so I have my first variable fn and the second variable sn. So I'm going to add the first variable fn with my second variable sn. So okay, now the final answer should be displayed. Okay, let's use the same print statement. The sum is, close the quotation, a comma, that is a separator between the message that we put and the actual variable that we want to print, sum. Okay, more on the variable I'll talk in a minute. So I'm going to run this program. Look at this. It is asking me to enter the first number. Let me see, 5. It's asking me to enter the second number. Let me say 2. Now, this 5 that I entered goes to the variable name fn here. The 2 I entered here, that goes to this variable sn. So that means that variable fn is holding currently the number 5, and the variable sn is holding the data 2. And when you add these two, you would get, let's say 7, and that will be stored in a variable called sum. So sum is the addition of these two numbers. There is a problem here, which I would explain in a minute. I know there is a problem. And let's press enter and see what happens. It says the sum is 52. It's not saying 7. The sum of 5 and 2 should be 7, but it says 52. The reason is, when you are giving an input statement, that data comes from the input statement is not an integer. It is not a number. It is a string. It is a text data. So 5, which is in the first variable fn, 2, which is in the variable 2, both are text data. So these two are not involved in the arithmetic operation, but they are joined together. So what should we do to make them act like actual numbers and get arithmetic addition of these two numbers? The simplest way to do is you give integer of fn, so that means you convert that into an integer, and you say integer of sn, so that means these two are converted from text to numbers before the addition is taking place. So let's run the program. Let's say 5, same numbers, 2, and now that gives me 7 as an answer. So that means in this video, you learned what are variables. You learned how do you input to the program. And also we learned how to convert the text to numbers. And also we know how to print a value, not only the message. So this is a message. So this is the value of the variable on the output screen. Now let me do some more. I want to find the difference between these two. So what I can do, I can use another variable, difference equals, I'm going to copy paste the statement as it is. All I need to do is just put the negative sign here for the subtraction, and possibly I'll copy paste the print statement one more time and say the difference is, I will just say diff. Okay. Now what we have done is we have added another arithmetic operation, and we want that operation to take place after the addition and print both the answers. Let's run the program again. We will give the same input 5, and then we give 2, and yes, the sum is 7. The difference is 3 because we subtracted Fn from the Sn. Okay, sorry, we subtracted Sn from the Fn. Now, instead of using int in every single operation, we can do the conversion only once. I'll show you this. So I'm going to remove all of those int from here. And what you could do is you could do it once for all at the top of the program, so that once it is done, we could use in all the operations. Now, right now, they are not integers. They are text data. Now, how do you convert it here at the beginning is you could add int here. Int of input data, and also here int of input data. So this is simple because if you want to perform further arithmetic operations, maybe multiply two numbers, maybe put it in an expression in mathematical expression, you don't have to use int every time, because at the beginning when you're receiving input, they are converted into numbers. Let's run once again to check whether this program is working or not. Let's give a different number this time, 12, and the next number is 6. So the sum is 18, which is correct, and the difference is 6. That's great. That's it. We have done our phase program that has input data. We know what are variables. We know how to do arithmetic operations, and we know how to print the data. And also we know how to convert text data into integer. You might want to stop the video at this point and give a try on this part of the program, on this part of the video in your computer. Once you've done that, you try multiplying and division operations in your program. I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I will come out with more videos on learning Python programming for high school students in the near future. Thank you for watching.